Hi, Marianne Croce here from Small Biz Vantage and the creator of 3 Day Weekend System. I'm so glad to be here each and every week. I do these lives. I call them Auto Shop Success in 15 minutes. And I do them for a couple of reasons. The first one is for you to be able to look at your business, look at your shop from that 30,000-foot view. Most owners that I talk to are in the day to day and they feel like their business is consuming them and they don't have a lot of time to do that, to actually reflect on their business. So, this is a great opportunity each and every week to spend 15 minutes or less really looking at that bigger picture of your business, and it really makes an impact. The second reason is for you to take action each and every week. I will give you an action item to take. That consistency, that's where the magic happens. It's in the doing. So you don't have to go 24/7 and you take one action item away each and every week. It causes a ripple effect in your business. It doesn't have to be these big, massive changes. Really small changes can make a huge impact. So people ask me quite often, who do you work with, Marianne? And I work with auto shops, single location auto shops. And I do that for the fact that I really love that group of people. They have the grit and the drive. And I really feel that they're a giving group as well. But many of them are stuck. So that's where I come in and help. One person recently told me that I'm the gain back time coach. And I really like that name because that's what I actually help people do, gain back their time so that they don't feel like they're going 24/7 or that their business is consuming them. So this week, the topic is training is a magnet. And this is an interesting topic. I come up with these each and every week from the calls I have, the people I meet, and the questions that I get. I try to keep everything relevant. So the idea here is lifelong learning really sets shops apart. In our industry, I recently went to an event and I spoke at it, an industry event. It was particular for transmission shops. But I noticed something. The people that were in that room and all of the classes that I attended, they weren't average. They were achievers, whether they were owners, leaders, technicians, service advisors, it didn't matter their role. These were people who see training not as a burden, but as an opportunity. Now, think about that. They didn't see it as something that they had to go to, they saw it as something that they wanted to go to. They stayed curious and were willing to share and help others. So, whatever they knew, they weren't holding it tight to themselves, thinking that there's a danger in sharing it. They were very giving. So, after multiple conversations, I knew that this group really understood how important it was to share and to give to better the industry. Young learn from older and vice versa. So that mindset is what separates top shops from the rest. So why does this matter for shop owners? Top shops are always hiring, and the best candidates look for growth, not just a paycheck. Those top players, those top talent people, they're the ones that are not checking in and saying, I just want to go into work, do my job, check out, and go home. That's not what they're saying. That's not what their self talk is. They want to achieve, they want to learn, they want to grow. Another thing that matters to owners is training improves retention. So when people grow, they stay. When they stagnate, they leave. And lastly, why this matters to shop owners is learning is leadership. Owners who learn, set the tone for their whole team. So imagine an owner talking to their team before an event and asking them what type of training they feel they need, what they want to learn, what they want to do. So, and then they choose the classes that they're going to take for themselves. So it's being a great example for the entire team. So, why does it matter to team members? Your team isn't just working for you, they're working with you to build a career, not just collect hours. So, training matters to them because of 5 different things. One, it builds pride and confidence. A team member who learns, say, for example, a technician learns a new diagnostic procedure or repair method, really feels capable, valuable, and is less stressed on the job. Number 2, it creates career pathways. Training gives team members a future, whether that's moving from apprentice to an A tech or from a service advisor to a manager. Without it, the ceiling feels low. They're going to feel like they are going to come to a point where they can't grow anymore. Number 3, it shows respect. When you invest in your team's growth, they see that you value them beyond the labor hours that they produce. And that creates loyalty. You care about them. You see them as people, not just as numbers, not just as producers. Number 4, it reduces friction. Most mistakes, comebacks, and conflicts come from the lack of knowledge or unclear expectations. Training solves both. I have a lot of owners that come to me and they'll say, I have a people problem. And in most cases, it's either a clarity problem or a leadership problem. Very few times, I'm not going to say all the time, but very few times is it really a people problem. And lastly, number 5, it attracts peers they want to work with. High performers don't want to work next to people who just get by. Training raises the bar for the whole shop. They will encourage others. They will inspire others. So when you're looking at the big picture here, top talent is looking for top shops. And top shops are run by owners who value growth for themselves and for the people on their team. So when you commit to lifelong learning, you're not just building skills, you're building a culture where achievers will thrive, loyalty grows, and your shop becomes more profitable, sustainable, and enjoyable. And when you combine those 3, it means that your shop is manageable and sellable someday. So each week I give you an action step. And for this week, it's ask your team what skill, tool, or training would make their job easier or help them grow. Listen closely. You might be surprised by what they say. And here's the pro thinking tip. Invest in training. When you invest in training, don't look at it as a cost. It's one of the best business decisions that pays you back in confidence, loyalty, and performance. That's the way top shops think. So you don't need to do all of this alone. And it really is why I coach single location shops who are ready for more time, more profit, and a business that works for you, not the other way around. So that's it for this week's Auto Shop Success in 15 minutes. I'm glad that you're here. Any comments that you have, put them in the chat and I will respond to any of them if you're on the replay. Thanks for being here.